Today I'm going to walk through decorating a lavender and sage wedding cake and getting set up for the big day. Come join me. So I started with decorating the cake. This is a 4-tier cake, but the top tier is going to be used to cut the cake in a different part of the venue. So this is the top tier that will be on the cake. So it is a vanilla cake, and I'm just stacking the cake here. This is a vanilla buttercream. The other flavors are going to be, the top tier again is vanilla. The next is going to be a red velvet. And then the bottom tier is lemon lavender. And then the one that's going to be used to cut the cake on the wedding day is a chocolate cake. So again, this is the top one for the cake. And I'm just stacking this cake, trying to get it nice and smooth to get ready for the big day. So once I have this one done, I'm going to kind of put this in the chiller and begin stacking the next cake. And this one is the small cake that's going to be used to cut the cake. Again, this is a chocolate cake. It's a 4-inch. That vanilla one we just looked at was a 6-inch. I'm sorry. Yeah, 6-inch. And we're just going to stack this to get this ready for the day. Again, this is also vanilla buttercream. Probably hear the rain in the background. We're experiencing some pretty big storms today. So I apologize in advance if you can hear that and that's bothersome to you. So here you can see I was just kind of making sure that that was better stuck to the cake board. Here I am doing the next tier. This one is the red velvet cake. And again, vanilla buttercream. And I'm going to stack this cake. It's really coming down. I'm sure you can hear that. Here I am just trying to make sure that it is straight. I am eye level with the cake, checking to make sure that it is all aligned, each one of those 3 layers. I have this sped up to 1.6 times the speed for decorating this cake. Now that I have my crumb coats all done, I'm going and I'm beginning the actual decoration. So they were looking for something that was more of an ombre, where it was white on top, lavender on the bottom. So I'm just adding a little bit of each of those colors, and I'm going to scrape the cake to spread that color across the entire cake. I'm going to use my bench scraper and also my spatula to make that happen. I find getting it started is easiest with the spatula. And now doing the same thing. I'm going to do all the same thing for each of these cakes. Cleaning up the cake board right here. Here I am adding ridges up the side of the cake. This is the 4-inch cake that's going to be used to cut the cake. And they are just asking for these little ridges to go up the side of the cake. Really kind of a classy looking design, but super easy. Kind of sophisticated and yet messy at the same time. A lot going on, but still simple. And then here I am kind of squaring out those the top of this cake. I'm moving on to one of the next cakes, doing the same thing. Again, that white at the top, I'll put the purple at the bottom. I have a bowl here off to the side, so as I'm pulling icing off, I'm kind of tucking it into that bowl. Again, once I have the cake fully coated and iced, I'm going to do that same design up the side of this cake as well. After each one of these lines, I'm just kind of scraping the side of my spatula. And here I am squaring off this cake. Now for this tier, they have a bit of a bee theme associated. So I'm using a piece of bubble wrap. They wanted some honeycomb on the side of the cake. I'm using a gold buttercream that is vanilla. Just kind of putting that onto some bubble wrap. Then I'm letting that chill for a bit. And I'm going to put that onto the side of the cake here. Then I'm going to let it chill on the cake. And then once that's chilled, I'm going to pull that off. And you'll see that just in a second. So here I am pulling that off after it has chilled for a bit. Here I'm kind of breaking some of these pieces off. I don't want it to be up the whole way to the top of this tier, so I'm breaking off some of the pieces of that. Also, honeycomb is not completely straight. It's sometimes ragged. They also wanted a gold drip along this tier. So this is powdered sugar, some vodka, and some gold luster dust. And I'm just running that along the top of this tier. This won't be on any of the others, just this one. So you can see how it's kind of skipping down those ridges that we just created on the cake. I wasn't sure the bride would love this, so I contacted just to make sure that she did, and she did like it. So onward and upward with this cake. And one of the other elements to this cake are these little tiny, they look kind of like yarn squiggles. This was on the inspiration cake, and so I did confirm the bride also wanted this. So I'm just using a number 1 tip and just putting these little squiggles onto the cake. I'm doing the same thing here on, this is the second tier of the wedding cake. The one that we just did was the first. And once we have this tier done, we're going to go back and we're going to do the third tier. And this one is lemon lavender. And the icing is a lemon icing. So again, I'm just going to stack this cake. And we're going to decorate it the exact same way as we did the other tiers. And this flavor I had never had before personally, and I have to tell you this was absolutely delicious, and it has inspired some other products in my bakery, including some lemon lavender cake pops that are going to be super delicious when I put them into the case. hear the thunder in the background. And again, I'm going to put that purple down on the bottom of this tier, and we're going to do that ombre again. Cleaning up the cake board. It's actually a cake drum, cleaning that up a bit, and here we are adding that same set of ridges up the cake. And again, I'm cleaning that spatula off in between each one of these swipes around the cake. And I'm putting those little squigglies on the cake randomly. And then once I finish this, we are finished with the design, and now we're at the venue setting up. So we have the cake stacked and we have it all together, and now we are adding some lavender to the cake itself, which was also part of the decoration for the cake. So along with the cake, we also had several other things that went along with it. We did a whole dessert table. You can see here the 3 tiers of the cake, and then that one off to the left, that's the one that's going to be cut at a different part of the venue. Along with the cakes, we also made cupcakes, chocolate covered pretzels, chocolate covered strawberries, some cake pops, and some royal icing cookies, which you'll see later in this video. So we're just wrapping some lavender, dried lavender, wrapping it with some flour tape and putting them onto the cake, both of the cakes. And after we have all of the flowers where we would like them to be, then we go on to setting up the rest of the items to make a dessert table. You can see it just talking about what we think works and just planning as we go, working together. Here I am picking off the little pieces of lavender that fell off of the flowers themselves and onto the cake. They were falling everywhere. So here we are setting up the rest of the items, moving things around and getting them to look nice on the table. So we put the pretzels in this basket, and then we put the other items. We have the cupcakes on this 3-tier thing, and then we have 2 of those off to the side that we put strawberries on, and then the cake pops and the cookies we laid out on the table for folks to grab and go with. We got some help to see what they thought about how we were setting it up. And we all kind of agreed, and now we had our plan in place. Teamwork success. And with that, this is what the table looked like. There it is as a whole, and again, kind of looking at the whole table. You can see the strawberries there, the cupcakes, the cookies, the cake pops, and the pretzels in the basket. To go along with her bee theme, she wanted some bees placed. You can see one's right there, one's up on the top, and then one's down here on the side. She had these bees to go along with the rest of her theme. This was her venue. And here are the cake pops, the cupcakes, the strawberries, and the cookies. I didn't take a picture of the pretzels, but if you enjoyed watching this video, I would love if you would subscribe and also come back, like, comment, share, and join us for future content. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you.